As part of the State of Working India 2021, we also look at the differential impact of the pandemic on household and individual incomes, and also its implications on inequality and poverty in the country. What we see on the screen now is a growth incidence curve showing the regressive impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the containment measures on household incomes. For this, we have arranged households in ascending order of income percentiles and plot the loss of income between March and October 2020 for households in each percentile. The graph here shows the all India impact along with that for the rural and urban sectors separately. What we find is that while all households lost incomes, the poorer households suffered a greater loss as compared to the richer households. We also see that the income losses were higher for the urban households as compared to the rural counterparts over the entire income distribution. For the bottom 10%, the households experienced a 27% drop in their incomes, which is equivalent to losing more than 2 months of their household income, while for the top 10%, it was a 22% drop on average. We also witnessed a massive increase in poverty during the pandemic. And to document this, we chose two thresholds as proposed by different government committees to understand the change in the number of people whose income fell below some minimum threshold deemed necessary to live a decent life. The first threshold we chose was the national minimum wage threshold. This comes out to be rupees 2,900 per capita per month for the rural sector and rupees 3,344 per capita per month for the urban sector after adjusting for inflation in January 2020 terms. The second threshold is the minimum wage proposed by the 7th Pay Commission for its government employees, which comes out to be rupees 7,000 per capita per month, and we adjust this also for rural and urban sectors separately in January 2020 terms. We estimate that the number of individuals who lie below the national minimum wage threshold increased by 230 million in the COVID months. This amounts to roughly a 15 percentage points increase in the rural sector and a 20 percentage points increase in the urban sector. If you look at the second threshold, the number of individuals in households with income below the 7th Central Pay Commission level increased by 142 millions as compared to the pre-COVID period. And this amounts to slightly over 10 percentage points increase. In addition to this, we also document the shift in the rural and urban per capita income distribution before and during the pandemic. The chart we see on the screen now plots the proportion of households falling under different income bins, with income bins arranged in the ascending order. The blue bars that we are seeing refer to the pre-COVID period, which is July 2019 to February 2020, while the red bars are for the COVID months of March to October 2020. So, for example, around 18% of household had per capita incomes between 2,000 to 3,000 rupees in the pre-COVID period. This 18% increased to 23% in the COVID months. As can be seen, the entire income distribution has clearly shifted to the left as all groups have experienced a fall in their incomes. An important takeaway from this graph is that the percentage of households having an average monthly income below rupees 4,000 per capita increased sharply in the COVID months in both rural and urban areas. And correspondingly, those with average monthly income greater than rupees 4,000 per capita declined. We also look at the differential impact of the pandemic by states. So for this, we explored the relationship between mobility and income losses as experienced by households over the COVID months belonging to different states of the country. Mobility data is provided by Google, which helps us measure movements in major outdoor spaces. And what we find is that there is a large variation in income losses suffered by households depending on their state of residence, which state they belong to, they reside in. Delhi, for example, experienced a 50% decline in mobility on average between March and October. And this 50% decline in mobility was accompanied by a 39% loss in income. Uttar Pradesh, on the other hand, was less affected, so to say, with a 32% decline in mobility and a 22% loss in income.